Welcome. And on this edition of my podcast, I want to talk to you about strategic business leader. Only perhaps it's not me who wants to talk to you about strategic business leader because I'm all about SBR. So I've got with me today for you my friend, my colleague, somebody who I have worked with at Kaplan, somebody who I have worked with in Singapore, somebody who I started a business with many years ago, Mr. Marty Windle. How are you?
I'm very well, Tom. Thank you for the opportunity to come on, what is one of the best podcasts on ACCA or anywhere on the internet. It's really a privilege to be on this podcast.
Thank you. Let's cut to the chase. I'd like
Yeah.
to learn and share a little bit about your experience later on. What is SBL like? My students, ACCA students, don't have a choice about doing this paper, but clearly you love it. Clearly it's something that is very different from SBR.
I think, Tom, in my mind, it is the most interesting paper of all the ACCA papers. And I think that's, students who get into SBL, it's about real life, it's about business, it's about decision making, it's about risk, it's about all the aspects you need in business. Now, the ACCA, what they do is they built SBL to try to be a simulation of real life. So it's supposed to be giving you the skills that you need in business, giving you the skills you need in a real life organization. And that is the way that the exam takes place. So when you're writing your exam, it's not an answer, it's a memo to the CEO of the organization. It is a PowerPoint presentation to the board. And that's a mistake a lot of students make. When they're writing the answer, they treat it like it is a normal exam answer. But how it should be is something you would write in the business environment. So it's very unique in that respect. It's something a little bit different from all the other papers because it is a simulation of reality.
I hear that word unique. I hear that word unique. Now, when I was a student, SBL didn't exist. And so I hear about it. And one of the things I hear about it is this pre-scene. Now, that's quite real life, isn't it?
That is real life. So, we often make decisions based about data. So for the pre-scene case study, I mean, I would say it's a big advantage for the students. It's a big advantage for them. Previously, you had 12 pages to read on the day. It was a big 4-hour exam. The pre-scene case study is now given to you. So basically, of those 12 pages, you're going to get 8 or 9 pages 2 weeks before the examination. And you can analyze it, understand the industry, and get a bit of background. It takes off the pressure for the exam, and your exam questions, 3 tasks in the exam, will be based on that pre-scene case study.
So what was the pre-scene last time? Give me an example of a recent pre-scene and how that then played out in the exam.
Uh, the pre-scene last time was about a football club. So it's something maybe a lot of people are not that familiar with. It's about a football club, how to manage and run a football club. It's very practical, very in line with real life. And I'd like to thank Tom. He did an excellent podcast about football finance and helped to support the students that way. And what I try to do on my courses is I analyze the pre-scene on my courses, give a detailed breakdown, and I write not just one, but 2 mock exams based on the pre-scene. And it was really excellent to get the feedback from the students is many of the questions I'd used on my mock 1 pre-scene or mock 2 pre-scene came in a very similar way in the examination.
That must have been really helpful for the students. Now, so well done, Marty. That's a really good preparation for students to actually be able to do a mock exam based on the pre-scene. That must involve you in a lot of work. So big respect for you there. The other thing I think about in terms of SBR is that we have 4 professional marks. All right. So
20, Tom, 20.
no. In SBR,
Okay, an
we have
SBR.
4
Okay.
professional marks.
Okay.
4 professional marks. So it's a proper exam. There's 96 technical marks. Now that's different in SBL, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize it's only 4 in your paper. So ours is 20. So
Mine's a proper paper, mate. It's accounting. It's a proper paper.
so is mine, and I think it's very underestimated by financial accountants. So yeah, so it's 20 professional marks in the exam. You're going to get marks for things like skepticism. You're going to get marks for things like analysis. So it's very important that if students are doing a course, I spend a lot of time talking about professional marks and how to get professional marks. Students who do badly tend to do badly and get very poor professional marks in the exam. So it's something that I spend a lot of time on, how to get them. And when I'm doing marking, when I mark your exams, because my course will include 3 marked mock exams, including that pre-scene, will be marked and it's on the practice platform. In my marking, I tell you how many professional marks you got, and I advise you on how to improve your professional marks and how to get more.
Yeah, I think that's crucial, isn't it? Because I wish we could almost reinvent the word marking, because what you're doing and what I'm doing is, yes, the students get a mark from their script, but actually of much more merit and significance is validation as to what they've done right, and narrative guidance and support as to how they can improve and do better next time. Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? It is about knowing where you've gone wrong and how you can improve it.
Uh, Definitely the case. I mean, it's actually massive because, I've had students, I kind of expect them to fail the mock exams sometimes, especially the first one. And what I'm looking for is progress over those 3 mock exams, learning the lessons. I'm giving you the feedback and I keep hammering the same things and often make the same points. And eventually it will click with them and they get there. I've had people who get 40, 44, 50, and in the exam they're getting 50 and 55 and 60 because they're kind of learning what they're doing is wrong and they're learning how to write an exam, which is a high scoring answer. They can write a lot but not be high scoring, or you can write a relatively short answer but that can be very high scoring.
Excellent. Yeah, very, very good. Um, what do you want your closing question to be, Marty? What
My
haven't you
closing
said that
question:
you want to say?
are we on the Diary of a CEO kind of podcast where the last person gives a question for the next person? I think the thing I would say about SBL is it's very underestimated. I see a lot of things on the internet which say, God, SBL is so easy. Just read the newspaper 2 weeks before the exam and you can pass. The pass rate for SBL and SBR is not that different. SBL is around 52, 51, and SBR is about 50, 51. So it's quite similar. People don't ever say that SBR is an easy paper, but a lot of people say SBL is a walk in the park. It's not. It requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of exam techniques. So my main message is don't underestimate SBL.
Good. Well, thank you, Marty. It's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast. And I know that, if anyone has been listening this far, it is because they're wanting to know more about SBL, which is the paper they have to pass in order to complete their qualification. So, how can they get hold of you, Marty?
All you've got to remember is the following letters: SBLguru.com, GURU, SBLguru.com, and that has got all my links. Just remember those 7 letters: SBLguru.com, and it has all my links, my WhatsApp. You can book a 15-minute meeting with me if you want to identify what course is going to work best for you. So get in touch. And please follow me on YouTube. And all those links are on www.sblguru.com.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Marty. Good to talk to you again.